Poppin' T Squad, it's your girl Keisha, aka Color Me Pynk, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade, Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 12 review. I drop videos Monday through Sunday. Everything that I say is for entertainment purposes only and not to be taken seriously or literally. So that works for you, then let's get into this review. Okay, so this week we're going to start off with Nicole and Chris. They end up doing yoga with her father, to try to build the connection between her dad and Chris. And Nicole asked her daddy, have you ever seen me this happy before? And he was like, it's not so much happy as content. And, contentment is very great in life, but contentment is very different from being happy, because you could be content all day in life and really not be happy. For me, you know what I'm saying? You could just be going through the motions, content with how your life is, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're 100% happy. So the father is still very much still skeptical of this marriage and this relationship. I don't think that he really truly necessarily believes that this is going to be a forever thing. However, he does allow Chris to call him dad, but he still got his eye on him. Like, he's still side-eyeing this whole situation. So they end up doing the little fishbowl exercise that Dr. Pepper wanted them to do. And she feels that one day she's going to do something to ruin their relationship and that their happy bubble is going to burst. And I think that's just a general fear for anybody, when they go into a relationship and things are just so good and you're not used to it and you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop and for maybe the first person to reveal their true self, or something to come out the woodwork, somebody, from the past come, or somebody, they could be cheating or you just never know. So I don't think that that's a bad thing that she necessarily feels that, but I think that she's still holding back her true self from Chris. I think that she is a little bit more feistier than what she lets on. And I do think a part of her does like confrontation. I think that she does, because that's what she's so used to. And I think that she thinks that she's going to end up running over him. And who knows? I think they're going to last a while. I do. I think they're going to make it to the end. Then we have Jasmine and Eris. And I'm just so tired of these two. Like, I just need for y'all to just call it a day and break up, because it's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening between these two. They go to talk to Dr. Pepper. And Jasmine says that she hasn't been speaking up for herself in this process. And she said that she just started to love herself. And now the person that she's with is not even feeling her in a, physical attraction type way. And she feels like she's in this marriage all by herself. And with her saying that she just started to love herself, that's a red flag. Because if you're just getting to that point in your life where you can honestly say that you love yourself, I don't think that you're mentally or emotionally strong enough to be in a situation like this, where you have the possibility of being with somebody who might not feel the same way about you physically, emotionally, or whatever. I don't think that this was the right place or program or exercise for her to be in. Like, you need to work on that and be like strong in your love for yourself. You know what I'm saying? In order to be in a situation like this. I think that she's handled herself with class and grace, but you can tell that there is hurt and frustration there for her. So Dr. Pepper says, have you thought it might not be about you? The lack of chemistry might be something that has nothing to do with her. What do you think, Eris? And Eris was like, I've experienced major deaths in my family, and I've kind of been afraid to get close to people. And I understand, him losing people. That's a traumatic experience for anybody to go through. But I honestly think that he's using that as an excuse or as a reason. I just honestly think that physically she's not his type. She not freaky enough. And that's what he like. He like freaky, nasty type stuff. And she's not that. And I think that turns him off. And I think that he just needs to be honest that he just does not find her physically attractive. I honestly feel like that's the case. I really honestly do. I don't know. I don't know if he even really wants this marriage to work. I don't know with him. He's weird. I really don't know. So Dr. Pepper was like, do you think you got married at first sight to keep you from running away from situations? And he was like, yeah, because he's lacked that familial presence in his life as a child because his dad wasn't around. His father was, unalived and all of that stuff. So he came into the process wanting to have a family and a marriage and kids. And Jasmine would be the perfect person to have that with. She's just not the person that he envisioned for himself. And I don't think that he knows how to get around that and get to know her soul connection first, or get to know and fall in love with her personality, because he's so concentrated on the physical and the sexual aspect of it all. So Dr. Pepper was like, what you want the most might scare you the most because you might have to invest. So the safest way is to let yourself not trust or be dependent on someone's love. Jasmine didn't know that he had those fears of losing somebody, and that's the reason why he says that he hasn't connected with her. Jasmine says she never saw her parents argue as a child, so maybe that's why she's non-confrontational. And Dr. Pepper challenges her to be what she tells her girls that she mentors, to be strong, to have an opinion, to speak up for yourself. And she tells Eris to build that half full cup that he's been working with this whole time, and that they both need to go over and above what feels easy. And I think that is a key that they're missing in order to move to the next step, because they still are surface level. All they talk about is they past trauma and sex. That's it. Hurt and sex. And no, absolutely not. That ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna work, Bernie. So then they do the flashbulb questions, and everyone that he picks out, Jasmine don't got an answer for it, or she's stalling, or she looks disinterested. Like at this point, you can tell like she is mentally checking out, like she's tired. But it was quite odd because, she was saying in the meeting with Dr. Pepper that she wants to communicate more. Then when they had the opportunity to, she shut down. So I don't know, child. I just need them just going. Throw in a towel, wave the white flag. Goodness gracious. So he then has her mom over to talk about her not opening up. And her mama was like, if you feel like she's holding back 9 times out of 10, she is. And that Jasmine tends to think about everybody else over herself, and that the mama feels like they both are overthinking the entire process. I don't think that it's so much overthinking. I just think that it's just not there. And they're trying to force 2 puzzle pieces together that just simply don't fit. Clint and Gina are up next, and we start off with Clint talking to his friend about Gina still not opening up, like they're still at a stalemate. Things are still the same between them. This is another couple that I just need for them to face the fact that this ain't going nowhere. Like I had a little bit of hope after last week's episode, but they're just friends. They're just friends, and I think they're going to make great friends after this. But as a romantic connection, no. No. I think that they had the potential to maybe connect in the beginning, but Gina shut herself off because she was so busy worried about his red hair and her not dating redheads that she shut herself off right from the beginning. And it's hard to try to now double back and start all over. So I feel like she was the one that kind of dropped the ball on this situation. So they talked to Dr. Pepper, and Gina says that she thinks they've been holding back on serious conversations since the honeymoon and how everything went left when they did. And I was like, well, that's not a we, because you started that conversation in Jamaica where you basically told him to his face that you weren't physically attracted to him. And that's when things went left. So Clint says that he wants to get to know her because he's dated somebody in the past that turned out to be an imposter, and he needs to know like who she is, because he still only knows like surface level stuff when it comes to her. He knows a little bit about her past, but she refuses to go any deeper. So when it comes to doing the fishbowl thing and asking questions, Clint says that he doesn't want to do that because it's not organic, and it feels like it'll be a Q&A or like somebody trying to go on a job interview. And I get what he's saying, but in this situation, you have to do the Q&As to get to know each other. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have situations where you're pulling stuff out of the next person. And I'm like, if y'all don't want to do this and don't want to do that, why did you sign up? y'all just thought y'all were just gonna marry somebody and run off into the sunset. That's not life, and that's really not life when it comes to a situation like this. So I'm just not understanding these people that don't want to do the work. And lastly, in tonight's episode, we have Shaquille and Kirsten, and this actually was a good episode for them. They go to see Dr. Pepper, and Dr. Pepper says, were there things that affected you growing up? And Kirsten says, when my mom and dad split up, it was a little shameful. It made me become closed off because I didn't understand why it happened. So I handled my sadness by myself. So that kind of gives us a little insight of why she is so closed off and really doesn't like to open up her emotions, because I think that she has a fear of attachment. And I think that when she becomes attached to somebody, like, she is all in, guard down. And I think that she was afraid to do that with Shaquille in the beginning because he wasn't her physical type. But then she ended up finding him attractive and liking his attention and wanting to be around him. Like, you can tell she is totally in when it comes to her being physically attracted to him right now. Like, she's physically attracted to him. She likes him. She's falling for him. And I think after her telling him that she wasn't into him physically and she didn't like to kiss and all of that stuff, he then put his guard up and kind of pulled away from her a little bit. And Dr. Pepper told him, you got to get past that and, start now. Start anew now, because it's there for her now. Now you got to meet her halfway. And I think that in this episode, he did that. I think that he finally put down his guard and, wanted to show her that he's still in this. So Dr. Pepper asks, has intimacy increased between them? And Shaquille was like, we've been doing better at it. She's been wanting his affection more, wanting forehead kisses and all of that stuff. And Dr. Pepper was like, okay, forehead kisses is cute, but we need for y'all to get it all the way cracking, like do something a little bit more. And so Shaquille decides that to grow their intimacy, that he's going to do body paint on her. And she was excited, honey. Her juices was a-flowing. I ain't never seen Kirsten that giddy, child. She couldn't wait. So he's putting the body paint on her. And, I could tell, like, she was stimulated and she was into it. And, like, she was looking at him like he was a steak and she wanted to take a bite. And I didn't blame her, because Shaquille is a nice looking man with a nice body, the height, all of that. And he, was a little bit aggressive with it. He was like, I got a surprise for you. He went and got some strawberries and whipped cream and put the whipped cream in her mouth and had the strawberry in his. And he was like, you gonna basically like let me do what I want to do? And he was like, you scared? And I was like, no. And he went for it. Like, he went for it and kissed her, and she was open to it. There was no hesitancy on her part. And honey, she must have liked it, because she kissed him again and again and again and again and again. And she even said it might go down tonight. It's going down tonight. Tonight it goes down. It's going down tonight. Tonight is gonna go down. Yeah, it went down between them that night. I already knew he got the cootie cat, because she been wanting to give him that cootie cat. So yeah, I'm happy for Shaquille and Kirsten. I think that they have a good chance at making it to the end. If they can just get past the few hurdles that they have standing before them, I think that they could honestly make it. I really honestly do. So shout out to them. If it don't work out, Shaquille, I'm single. I give it up on the first date. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all thought about tonight's episode of Married at First Sight. It was another cool episode. I feel like these last couple episodes though been kind of slow. Like, half of these episodes could have been scrapped. Like, let's get to the meat and potatoes of all this. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. I'm gonna give tonight's episode a C-. A C-. Let's get to the nitty gritty. All right. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about tonight's episode down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you all, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.